All right, let's dive right in. If you're looking to really master SQL in 2025, then you are in exactly the right place. What we're going to do today is walk through a complete roadmap. I'm talking a step-by-step guide that'll take you from knowing absolutely nothing, all the way to being a pro that companies want to hire. So you ready? Let's kick off this journey. And I'm not kidding when I say comprehensive. We are not just going to scratch the surface here. This roadmap covers it all, from your very first query all the way to the advanced skills that will actually get you hired. Seriously, think of this as your one and only guide for the whole adventure ahead. And to make sure we don't get lost, we've broken the whole thing down into 5 key stages. We'll kick things off with the why, then we'll build a rock-solid foundation. From there, we'll level up with some advanced skills, see how it all plays out in the real world, and finally, we'll get you to the destination, being totally career-ready. So let's jump into section 1. Why even start this journey? Before you pack your bags for any trip, you gotta know where you're going, and maybe more importantly, why it's even worth the effort. So what is this thing SQL? Well, at its heart, SQL, that's Structured Query Language, is basically the language we use to talk to databases. That's it. It's how we ask for information, how we update it, and how we manage these just massive oceans of data that power pretty much everything today. Think of it as the universal translator for data. Which brings us to section 2, building your foundation. Okay, this is where the real work kicks in. We're laying down the absolute non-negotiable fundamentals that, trust me, everything else is going to rest on. You can't skip this part. Your foundation really rests on 3 pillars. First step, writing basic queries to just get data. Step 2, learning how to filter and sort that data so you can find exactly what you need. And step 3, this one is a game changer, understanding foundational joins. This is how you start connecting the dots between different pieces of information. If you can master these 3 things, you've basically unlocked the very core of SQL. And now for section 3, mastering advanced skills. See, once you've got that foundation nice and solid, it's time to level up. This is the stuff that separates a casual user from someone who can really truly solve complex problems with data. And here we can see how these advanced tools solve totally different problems. You'll use complex queries for those deep dive analyses, like for a big business report. But what if you have to run that same report every single week? Well, that's where a stored procedure comes in. You automate it. And to make everything run lightning fast, that's what indexing is for. It's like supercharging your database. Each one is a powerful tool for a very specific job. Okay, that brings us to section 4, entering the real world. Because, let's be honest, knowing the commands is one thing, but actually applying them to solve real problems, that's a whole different ballgame. This is where theory gets its hands dirty. A real-world project is never just about one skill. As you can see here, it's a mix of everything we've been talking about. You've got your querying and joining, sure, but also designing the database itself, analyzing the data you pull, and always tuning for performance. The big takeaway here is that these aren't separate steps you do one after another. They're all parts of one big interconnected process. And hey, every journey needs the right gear, right? So your essential toolkit is going to include a real database system like Postgres or MySQL, some online platforms to keep your skills fresh, and of course, a place like GitHub to build out your portfolio and actually prove what you can do. And this all leads us to our final destination. Section 5, being career ready. Let's laser focus on the end goal here, understanding what companies are really looking for when they hire someone who needs to know SQL. This comparison right here, it says it all. A beginner, they know the basics. Select, from, where. Awesome. But a pro, the person who gets the job, they think bigger. They have the skills we've been building up to this whole time. Database design, indexing, stored procedures, performance tuning, that's the toolkit that makes you valuable. It's the difference between starting the journey and actually reaching the destination. So look, here's the absolute crucial point. Getting hired isn't about memorizing a bunch of commands. It's about a much deeper understanding. It's knowing not just what to write, but why it works the way it does. And maybe most importantly, how it's going to affect the performance of the entire system. That right there is the mindset of a pro. So there you have it,
We've gone through the entire roadmap, from your very first step to your final destination. And to help you on your way, as promised, we've put all of this, plus some extra pro tips, into a downloadable guide that's all ready for you. The map is literally in your hands now. You know the path, you know the destination, and you know what it takes to get there. So the only question left is, where is your SQL journey going to take you? Happy coding!